back to ringside for Purks International Championship Wrestling. And we hear the music blaring, which will bring the team of the Rocker Terry Lawler and Brian Alexander the Great here. This tag team championship match scheduled with the reigning champions Chris Ganz and Chris Lightning, collectively known as Thunder and Lightning.
This team very popular with the Cedartown faithful. Two underdogs, but they bring the high-flying maneuvers to the ring, and that's why the fans love them so much. Tag team specialists, they've really made a name for themselves. Two young guys, very hungry, and they have really proven detractors wrong by becoming Purks International Tag Team Champions.
Oh yeah, and in fact, the birth of Thunder and Lightning, these two men initially began teaming here at the Purks building, so in many ways they are the home team, but they're not afraid to hit the road, as they've made several road trips over the past few months trying to get their name out there a little further. So we see Alexander the Great perched on the top turnbuckle. My, what a fantastic athlete, if nothing else.
And that's one thing you can say about Alexander the Great. He carries a lot of size with him, probably about 260 pounds, but he moves like a cruiserweight. And Terry the Rocker Lawler, that guy, you talk about an old school brawler, a guy who's been around the block, the brother of Steve the Brawler Lawler, who is, of course, famous.
Yeah. The crowd we have here, over something like 1,200, I believe, was the official count. So we see Thunder and Lightning in the ring to a loud ovation.
Very popular for their high-risk offense, tag team specialists, Thunder and Lightning, but they are this match getting underway here as Spanky Emerson trying to get both teams into their respective corners so he can start the belt. And there you see the Purks Tag Team Championship held by Thunder and Lightning on the line in this match. As you can see here, collar and elbow tie-up. We are underway, folks. Terry the Rocker Lawler backing up Chris Ganser into the corner. Ganser chasing him out of the ring. Lawler wants none of the youthful exuberance of Chris Ganz, but Brian Alexander, he decided he's going to take him a shot.
Yes, and well, I don't envy the position that Spanky Emerson's in, and I haven't. The only match where I would have envied him would be the one with Velvet Sky, but he's got all these distractions. I mean, it's a
the only thing I envied in the match with Velvet Sky.
Spanky Emerson, well, I mean, it's difficult enough with a tag team match where you have four competitors, but you gotta add Bobby Hayes and Jackie Rosedale to the mix, and all these guys and their penchant for throwing the rule book out the window, and you gotta wonder, Spanky Emerson my goodness, on his best day, is going to be a hard task.
Big hip toss by Chris Ganz and firing up on Brian Alexander in the corner.
And sending him to the top turnbuckle head first, tags into Chris Lightning. And, all right, Chris Lightning, I believe, yes, Chris Lightning's got about a year or two of experience on his partner. However, they are pretty much the same age, I would imagine.
They are, and really the story of this match is going to be tag team specialty. Who's going to be able to cut off the ring? Who's going to be able to keep that man in their corner? Who's going to be able to keep the fresh man in the ring? Very important in tag team action. because you do have that lifeline out there on the apron. You do have your tag team partners, so when things aren't going well, you always have the opportunity to tag that man in. Look at Chris Ganz going for the sunset flip. Alexander holding out of the ropes. Spanky Emerson exercising authority there by removing Alexander from the ropes. Only got a 2 count for Ganz.
And Alexander. Now I do believe that maneuver from Spanky Emerson may have got the temper of Alexander the Great riled up a little bit.
Well, bless him, he means well.
Oh, definitely. That is a discretionary call, but he's not the one who just got on the receiving end of a neck breaker. It was Chris Ganser, and now is all right. Chris Lightning in there, and Chris Lightning is in fact not helping his opponent when he goes to the referee, crying foul or whatever.
Well, even though they are the Purks International Tag Team Champions, Thunder and Lightning give a whole lot of experience away to Alexander and Terry Lawler. Terry Lawler, 20-year veteran. Alexander, about a 10 to 15-year veteran. These guys have been around the block. They know every dirty trick in the book, and they're going to use them. But a big object takeover there.
Chris Ganz has had one for both. He's had his way with both of these guys. However, he just caught a drop kick right to the side of the face from Alexander the Great, and taking a few steps back. So we get another view of the huge crowd here in Cedartown. Bobby Hayes is in the ring.
What's going on here? The announcement from Josh Hayes looks like. Using the Freebird rule, this is basically turned into a handicap match, Pierce.
Well, the Freebird rule is that's a bit of a stretch, even from a historical standpoint. I don't see the first Freebird in there for one thing, but nonetheless, we're going to have a trio of veterans, and not only is it 3-on-2, it's 3 men who are larger than Thunder and Lightning as well.
And Ganz and Lightning really going to have to bring their A game here, even though they are the champions. They are the men to beat. It's got to come via pinfall or submission. No countouts, no disqualifications. We'll do it. Pinfall or submission, and we could be looking at new tag team champions. Thunder and Lightning have all of the fire and vinegar they need. They just need to learn how to harness it. And if they can do that, they will be on top of Purks International Championship Wrestling for years to come.
And yes, this is a tremendous test for these two men. I mean, Bobby Hayes, the Butcher, is a proven commodity here in Cedartown. He is the heavyweight champion of the Purks, and just sent Chris Lightning out to the floor, and I believe that's the Rocker, the former Jailhouse Rocker, Terry Lawler, with a big European-styled uppercut on the youngster, and then another one working him over, and all the while Spanky Emerson is preoccupied with the protests of Chris Ganz.
Ganz is letting his emotions get the best of him. Lightning is a savvy kid. Give him one opportunity to make the tag, and he's going to do it. So in this particular case, it's probably not the best idea for Chris Lightning to try to be interfering in the match.
Oh, and once again, mocks the crowd here in Cedartown. Big elbow. And going for the pinfall. Only gets a 2 count. And you can see Jackie Rosedale going to question the power or the athletic or wrestling ability of Bobby Hayes.
Oh, no, you talk about a veteran, 15 to 20 years in the sport. He's wrestled for TNA, he's wrestled for WWE, and now Jean Moore makes way.
All right, Chris Lightning going for the sunset flip, and there's Second time, Spanky Emerson with a discretion. Well, that time he was definitely in the right, but ultimately, Chris Lightning on the hands of a vicious clothesline from Bobby Hayes here. And tagged in to Brian Alexander.
Alexander's really going to dish out the punishment here. And there he hangs Chris Lightning up in the corner. Oh, and a big drop kick. Tremendous agility for a man of his size.
Oh.
Even with the odds against him, he's got a fresh man out there. The inexperience may shine through.
Oh, yes. Lightning going for a moonsault, looked like, and he perhaps could have made the tag, but wanting maybe to, he saw his opponent down, wanting to go for it with and of course that is where the experience comes into play, as
man out there, the inexperience may shine through.
Oh yes, Lightning going for a moonsault, looked like, and he perhaps could have made the tag, but wanting maybe to, he saw his opponent down, wanting to go for it with and of course that is where the experience comes into play, as Alexander the Great with a big salto slam, shades of the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, of course, the suplex specialist of the 80s, and that was a page from his book.
Well, he was an Olympic champion, also the bodyguard of the Shah of Iran, but more importantly, Olympic professional wrestler. So when you take a page out of the book of the Iron Sheik, you've taken a very strong page.
Oh, definitely. I'm in that as the utmost respect for that comparison. And we're look at the flawless agility from Brian Alexander, who executes a maneuver that, well, I mean, I don't know what to call that, but he did it with ease, and he's standing tall. Chris Lightning is hunched over and green at the gills, so to speak.
That's what you call a double jump moonsault for a guy that's 260 pounds. That's just flat out impressive.
And well, I mean, Brian Alexander, if you look at the way this man moves, he is a machine. And to be quite honest with you, I am kind of, I will have to wonder when I see him in the ring doing these things, why is he not on TNA going head-to-head with the WWE sometimes on Monday night? Right in the side of the jaw. And Chris Lightning making a go for it here with, well, he's with some strong forearms. All right, Irish whip, reverse drop kick.
Call it a flying leg lariat here in the. Now a tag needs to be made. Chris Ganz is fresh, and now he's in the ring. Chris Ganz, big drop kick.
One for big forearm for, well, one for all three of the quote Freebird guys, because they do not have a name for their faction. We'll just say the veteran commodity here. And what do we got with this? Good Lord. What would you call that, Dragon?
They call that the Thunderstruck.
Oh, and Lightning out to the floor.
Now the tag team champions at a severe disadvantage here. Was that a 2 count by Emerson? Oh, it's a 3 count. Ladies and gentlemen, we have new tag team champions.
And, yeah, I guess the Freebird rule used successfully here by Bobby Hayes, Terry Lawler, and Brian Alexander. And all three of these men look like they're ready to Spanky Emerson ever so hesitant to raise their arms.
New tag team champions. What else can happen tonight, David Pierce?
Well, up next we got the big one. AJ Styles taking on former partner, former rival, Air Paris, in a match for the ages. In my book, history